ScareTopic, what's up? Welcome back. Hope everybody's day's been good. I hope everybody's, great. Made some money today, ate some food, you know what I'm saying? Did what they needed to do, made it home safe and sound, you know what I'm saying? And if you all going through something, I hope you do make it through. I'm talking about something like, health wise, or even if you going through like a life crisis, like just a crisis right now in life, something. I just hope you do make it through on top, you know what I'm saying? And don't give up. Don't give up. If you think about giving up, don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Winners don't come from quitting. Let's get to this video though.
I do not know how it is possible. I myself do not know how it is possible to survive all of that. Let alone a fall from 100 meters. It's impossible to survive that height.
It's January 26, 1972. 22-year-old stewardess Vesna Vulovic is handing out snacks to passengers on a Yugoslav Airlines flight to Belgrade. They're high above the clouds, cruising at a breezy altitude of 33,000 feet. Just another run-of-the-mill flight, until suddenly, her life literally gets flipped upside down. An explosion rips the plane into 3 pieces. Everyone gets sucked out into the open air, except for Vesna. She's pinned inside the tail end of the plane by her food cart, an object that ultimately would save her life, and plummets toward the snowy hills below. And then, she's out cold.
So what
Vesna
happened?
would become the Guinness World Record holder for the longest fall ever survived by a human being without a parachute. But she's not the only one who's cheated death from a great height. We'll unpack her insane story of survival and 2 others that may make you reconsider flying and skydiving. Yeah, I will not be doing that ever.
I've been already told myself I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like I did want to do that at a time in my life, but I guess that daredevil's not in me no more, man. Like I'm not doing that.
I don't care how much you guys pay.
Doing that.
What caused Vesna's plane to explode in the first place? How did a skydiver who fell 4,000 feet uncover it was an attempted murder plot? And what saved the life of a World War II US airman who was thrown from his aircraft at 20,000 feet?
Wait, what?
We had the pleasure of welcoming back.
Wait, what's going on, Jared? What's going on? Like, what are we doing today? Are we doing the Vesna Vulovic? What are we doing? Because this is like 3 stories in one you're talking about. My Wi-Fi is acting crazy.
Back aviation accident investigator, pilot, and certified flight instructor Melanie A. Fulsic-Barolero to the show. Okay. We spoke with her to get her perspective on Vesna's incredible survival story, among others.
When an aircraft does break up even further, we have in-flight breakup, and that really does send parts of the aircraft everywhere.
Yeah.
This is the incredible story of Vesna Vulovic and others like her who defied gravity and walked away alive. For Vesna, becoming a flight attendant is a dream come true, an opportunity to travel to different parts of the world and get paid for it. It's also an opportunity for her to visit London, England, and see her favorite band, the Beatles. I mean, can you blame her? The Beatles are amazing. But a medical issue almost keeps her from landing the job in the first place. With chronically low blood pressure, she doesn't qualify on her medical exam to become a flight attendant, but she cheats the system. Prior to the exam, she drinks a ton of coffee and passes the test.
Why is that? Why is if your blood pressure is too low, you can't fly? Why is that? Somebody, if you know that answer to that, put that below in the comments.
Wow, it's that easy, huh? Wonder if it works for drug tests.
Right.
Little does she know that her medical condition will end up saving her life. She's 8 months. Prior to the exam, she drinks a ton of coffee and passes the test. Wow, it's that easy, huh? Wonder if it works for drug tests. Little does she know that her medical condition will end up saving her life. She's 8 months into her job for Yugoslav Airlines when she's scheduled for flight 367 from Stockholm to Belgrade. But the crazy part of this story, she isn't even supposed to be on this flight.
Instead of my colleague, Vesna Nikolic, they signed me Vesna Vulovic by mistake. I was told I was taken off the flight I was meant to work.
The plane lands at a layover in Copenhagen.
Wow, so she got real lucky. She extra lucky because she survived at that too. Not only did she got what she wanted to do, she got on the plane. She wanted to be the flight attendant, and she did get that opportunity. But not only did she get that opportunity, she also survived the crash from 33,000 feet. Oh my God, shit! She had an angel around her today. Like, I mean, this day, she had an angel on her back. Damn, shit! Shout out to her. She must have been a good person.
Around 2:30 p.m. Before Vesna and her colleagues board, they watch the passengers and crew deplane. One passenger in particular stands out to them. A man who seems very annoyed as he gets off.
And then it seemed to me that one passenger did not go with the other passengers to the exit, but that he went to the other side.
Wow, he blew the plane up. He's the one that blew the damn plane up. Yo, guys, this is why y'all gotta really pay attention, son. It's something that might not look like anything to you, but if your gut is telling you something is wrong, trust it. I'm telling you, trust it. You know why? We ain't survived the crisis periods by not trusting our guts. Trust it. My bad.
The tube, and that really stuck in my memory, and I said that.
Turns out, this is the same man Vesna believes is responsible for planting an explosive suitcase on the plane she is moments away from boarding.
I remember the women who entered the cabin with children and the cleaners who had been tidying up before that.
At 3:15 p.m., the plane takes off. It reaches a cruising altitude of 33,330 feet as it flies over the Czech village of Srpska Kamenica. Things are going as expected.
I remember another hour of flight. Then my life was interrupted.
At 4:01 p.m., an explosion detonates in the baggage compartment below. The plane separates into 3 parts, causing the cabin to rapidly depressurize. Within seconds, debris, luggage, and 27 passengers and crew members are sucked out of the plane and scattered across the Czech mountains.
When an aircraft does break up even further, we have in-flight breakup, and that really does send parts of the aircraft everywhere.
Scattered, yep.
So depending on the speed, the force, the velocity, and the trajectory of the aircraft, the heavier parts tend to move forward. So we will see parts ahead of where the explosion happened travel for miles, and lighter pieces can actually float down in a leaf effect.
But Vesna remains trapped inside a broken part of the fuselage, pinned by a food trolley, while it plummets to the ground.
There was probably a spiral effect, as there usually is, given the wind moving through the air in general. So in this case, I think it probably tail ended up down, and she was probably sitting in it like a cup.
She passes out almost immediately due to her low blood pressure. But this is actually a blessing in disguise.
He
had such wonderful luck that this particular piece of the plane was falling down in a special way. It was spinning, as the Czechs who saw it on the spot told me. They watched it fall.
The fuselage of the plane slams into the dense snow-covered trees at just the right angle. A hilly slope cushions the fall.
You can't force your blood pressure to go in one way or another, so let's take that off the table. You're not going to be popping a magic pill that does that. However, you have the ability to go limp. If you tense up, you have a higher chance of ripping muscle, breaking bones, and injuring yourself because your body tenses the muscles.
So I guess what's the most ideal situation to fall into if you're falling out of the sky?
Anything frangible that could break and absorb the energy. We want them to hit tree branches all the way down. Now, it's not going to protect you from broken bones and internal injuries, but your survival is higher at that point, especially like her, if she was wrapped in any kind of part from the aircraft like fuselage, tail, baggage cart.
Vesna's rudely awakened by the impact. The crash leaves her with a fractured skull and pelvis, 3 broken ribs, 2 broken legs, and spinal damage, leaving her paralyzed from the waist down. Vesna screams out in pain. Thankfully, a nearby villager is in earshot. Bruno Honke, who was a former World War II field medic, runs over to help. Talk about having the right guy in the right place at the right time. Honke rushes into action, dressing Vesna's wounds and keeping her breathing until additional help arrives. Now let's be real, guys. Surviving a crash like this is 1 in a million, but there are precautions you can take to improve your chances. If you ever find yourself in a plane going down, your instinct to jump out could kill you. You're better off getting into the brace position and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you happen to be wearing a parachute, but even those can fail. You'll see what I mean. The most important thing you can do is protect your head, even if it means the rest of your body will take the majority of the damage.
We always say don't take that last breath before you impact the ground. You want to take it and then release it.
For Vesna, her injuries are so severe that even after getting to the hospital, doctors aren't sure how long she can last. Before we talk about Vesna's recovery, if you're enjoying the video so far, we'd really appreciate a like or comment. And if you want more stories like Vesna's, be sure to subscribe as well. We've got plenty more on the way.
I only learned that this year from my doctor who saved me. I was dead for 4 hours, clinically dead, and woke up on St. Sava's Day. It is a miracle you survived.
Vesna's in a coma for several weeks. When she comes to, she has no memory of what happened during the fall due to amnesia.
And I
could
don't
only
remember.
imagine.
I woke up every day asking where I was and what was happening.
After surviving the impossible, Vesna defies all odds once again when, 10 months later, she begins to walk.
Oh
Because
my
she has no
God.
memory of what happened, Vesna is actually eager to start working as a flight attendant once she's fully healed. But the airline she works for doesn't think it's such a good idea.
Right.
As Vesna's story continues to gain media attention, Yugoslav Airlines doesn't like the publicity it's getting because of the accident, so they give her a desk job instead. But the media isn't just interested in Vesna. The investigation uncovers that a briefcase carrying explosives was planted in the baggage compartment, and the manhunt for who planted it begins.
You said that you noticed a man at the airport who did not board, who was late, and who left his suitcases behind.
The day after the crash, a Swedish newspaper reports a Croatian nationalist calls in claiming responsibility. Authorities also suspect a Croatian terrorist group known as the Ustaše is responsible, although no one is ever formally charged. And nowadays, thankfully, airport security is much more strict, so a briefcase bomb is the least of your concerns.
And passengers have a
Well, this was 1972, so I could only imagine what the law was like back then. You know what I'm saying?
too. If you look out the window while your aircraft is getting loaded with cargo and there's something strange and you don't like it, you are more than welcome to bring that up as a concern.
Right.
And they will bring out the right people, whether it's customs, airport security, to look into that package more.
In 1985, Vesna is awarded the Guinness World Record for the highest fall survived without a parachute. And she's presented with the award by one of the 4 men responsible for her becoming a flight attendant in the first place, Paul McCartney of the Beatles. Talk about a full circle moment. You know, come to
met
think of
him.
it, they
Oh
should have
my
renamed the
God.
song Vesna in the Sky with Diamonds.
Bro, she almost died. Her dream came true, and she didn't die. She got her dream job, well, to a chance to do her dream job, right? And then she met the Beatles. Oh my God, bro. Yo, she just had the I don't know, like, I guess the universe just look out for some people, bro. Like, for real, like, it just, some people just that lucky. And you wouldn't believe it. It's like magic. You really be like, what the hell? How? But, yup. This is why I believe in karma. This is why I think karma is real. Energy is real.
Despite the happy ending, Vesna suffered from survivor's guilt. While she didn't become a flight attendant again, and frankly I don't blame her, she did use her fame to fight for democracy as a political activist.
Seriously, I remained the same Vesna I was. My life just went in a different direction.
Vesna passed away on December
God it
23rd,
did.
2016 at 66 years old. But the Guinness World Record will likely remain hers forever. At least, I hope so.
Thanks, Mike.
See you next month.
So you can get these delivered?
It's literally water.com.
That being said, even falling 4,000 feet without a parachute deploying is impressive. But it wasn't what was supposed to happen to our next survivor.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
April 5th, 2015.
He did
Victoria
give us
Cilliers steps onto a plane.
He did give us 3 stories. I guess we got 2 more stories to go. So shit, man, y'all, we in for a show. It's 3 shows in one.
But
3 videos in one.
It wasn't what was supposed to happen to our next survivor. It's April 5th, 2015. Victoria Cilliers steps onto a plane she intends to jump out of at 4,000 feet, while her husband Emil and their 2 young children watch. As a skydiving instructor for over a decade, she's done these jumps thousands of times. And when her husband gifts her the experience to have a solo jump after having their second child, she doesn't think twice. But when she jumps and pulls her main parachute, it doesn't fully open. For Victoria, it's a simple malfunction, and given her experience and training, she keeps calm and pulls her backup chute.
All parachutes are required short of the big...
You know, I kind of get it. I get the craving for a thrill. You know, I get it. I understand it. But damn, sometimes y'all gotta understand that you only have one life. One life. So, and you risk that life every day, bro. Every day. You leave your house. Every day you leave your house, you're risking your life. Even you not leaving your house, you're risking your life. Because your house could collapse. You know what I'm saying? Something could go wrong. Anything you do, we so fragile as human beings, bro. So fragile. So why do y'all crave, like, y'all crave the most insane things? Why? Y'all crave adrenaline, y'all crave thrill. This shit is just, and I get it. It's an addiction. It's an addiction. You know what I'm saying? It's a feeling because when you play video games, it's a feeling that you get that make you enjoy playing the video game. You know what I'm saying? So or when somebody do drugs, it's the feeling they get from the drug why they continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it's an addiction, you know what I'm saying? It's the feeling that they get from it, but god damn, do some precaution, gang. You got one life. You don't want to waste it. You don't want to waste it, bro. You could do it one time, but multiple times? Come on now. You just asking it, you know what I'm saying? Asking for something.
It's calm and pulls her backup chute.
All parachutes are required short of the big round ones that military uses, but they're required to have 2. Your main chute, which is usually your big canopy, and then your reserve backup. Your reserve backup is always connected to a device, but if the connectors that connect the bridles to your harness are disconnected or sabotaged, there's nothing holding you to that parachute.
But the minute I deployed the reserve, I knew instantly there was something very wrong. Because it should just be there and everything slows down and it's calm, but it wasn't. I was spinning.
Neither parachute opens, and they become tangled in the wind, and the field below gets closer and closer. She's falling at 60 miles per hour towards the ground.
So you can steer your body by just tilting certain parts of your elbows, your hips, your feet, but mainly you want to be stomach down as you're approaching the earth, and that's how you can start steering yourself, is by creating that motion and then using your arms to steer. And if there's canopies versus a field, I would try to still streamline my body and fly.
When people were watching this on the ground, they actually arrived to you with a body bag because no one thought you were going to survive this.
Luckily, the freshly plowed field she crashes into
Imagine that.
somewhat cushions her fall. Victoria also credits the way she was spinning, which slowed her descent.
Then she had an external drag factor, which was that
parachute,
basically the strangled canopy up top. So as it's struggling and it's fluttering, it's still catching some air, slowing her down.
If you're lucky enough to survive the initial fall from the sky, you're guaranteed to have some injuries. And
y'all see that them parachutes ain't reliable, gang. Them joints is not reliable. You might jump out of plane and think, oh, all I gotta do is let this parachute out the bag. I got this. Fruit. Parachute don't even come out the bag, or if it do come out the bag, the safety pin rip. If it don't pull, and then your safety pin rip, you done. You done. Cause like he said, it's not everybody that's gonna survive a fall just cause you got a parachute. It's not everybody that's gonna survive a fall from that high, bro. So don't be thinking you could do it. Don't be thinking, damn, if it falls, man, I got this. No, bro. One time is enough. Don't be a freaking daredevil and keep doing it. I don't gotta keep doing it. Going skydiving one time is enough, gang. Anything. It don't even gotta be skydiving. Anything dangerous. If your life, if it's on your bucket list and you really want to go explore it, or you really want to explore it and do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. If that's really what you want to do it. But don't make it a habit, bro. Don't make it your hobby. You already risk your life every day, bro. Why you want to die so fast?
To no surprise, that was the case for Victoria.
I broke my pelvis in lots of places, several spinal fractures, most of my ribs on one side, bleeding in my lung.
Now, parachute malfunctions happen, but for both her main and reserve chutes not to work seems suspicious.
That's my wife in the truck here in Suffolk County, New York.
Shut the fuck up, Joe Rogan. Nobody care, bro.
15 million views as of this morning.
Suspicious. The police open an investigation, and it doesn't take long for them to realize this is no accident. Investigators discover that some of the lines in Victoria's main parachute had been knotted, and two crucial connectors were removed from the reserve chute. Without them, one side of the canopy wasn't properly attached. Then, they receive a tip from one of Victoria's friends.
She was not happy with their relationship, that it was not as perfect as the outside world would perceive it to be. And
her
that
husband did
if
that?
she had been anywhere near the parachute centre when this happened, she would suspect that he had something to do with it.
Their suspicion is confirmed when they learn that her husband Emil had been seen at the parachute center, taking Victoria's skydiving gear into the bathroom.
I couldn't understand why Emil would do that, why my husband would try and kill me.
During a police interview with Emil, it's discovered that he's having affairs and is heavily in debt. His plan was to kill Victoria,
Life insurance.
get the life insurance policy, and start fresh. When investigators tell Victoria about Emil's affairs, she's heartbroken and lets out a guttural scream.
I was just so angry. Yeah, let down, betrayed. They felt like they had almost like a separate identity. One that...
Yo, this is why you gotta really pay attention to who you gotta pay attention. Pay attention. Yo, I don't know how she didn't see signs of him cheating or see signs of him showing that he's bankrupt. I mean, guys could hide that. You know what I'm saying? Guys could hide that, because when I was broke, I could hide that shit. I ain't rich or nothing, but shit, man, I could do what I want. You know what I'm saying? I could afford things that I never had. So I'm good. But back when I couldn't, I know the feeling. So it's like, damn, we could hide that shit pretty good. So she probably didn't see it because he was hiding it. Well, most likely. But shit, pay attention, because the simplest thing you see, man, that shit could mean a whole lot. All you got to do is just pay attention, because you might see something once and then you see it again and it just triggers something. You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, oh, or you just see something and then you see something again and it just connects. Make a connection. You feel me? So that's why you got to pay attention, because you ain't going to make that connection if you're not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So pay attention. Pay attention.
His girlfriend, he had a different phone, he had a different computer, a whole different life.
But the crazy part is,
you didn't know?
This wasn't the first time he tried to kill her. Victoria tells them about a gas leak they had a week before her fall. She had texted her husband about a strong smell of gas in the kitchen.
And his reply is, have you tried putting a stove on? To which he says, no, why would I do that? Too dangerous. But that's his initial reply back to her.
The investigation reveals that...
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention, gang. She was not paying attention. I mean, she was paying attention, but she wasn't... She was putting everything past her. She didn't want to believe it. That's what it was. She didn't want to believe it. But if you see some shit like that, believe it. Believe it. Turn the what on? I told you I smell gas. Turn the what? She should have known she should have. Damn. I don't know why she didn't want to believe it. Thank God she
alive, though. A gas valve in the
though.
kitchen had been loosened. Their kids were also in the house upstairs. So had Victoria turned the stove on, all three of them likely would have been killed in an explosion.
Yeah.
Talk about father of the year. In 2018, Emil is convicted on 2 counts of attempted murder and receives a life sentence with a minimum of 18 years served before he is eligible for parole. Victoria divorces Emil, remarries in 2024, and makes sure her last memory of skydiving isn't the one that almost killed her.
I didn't want to end my skydiving career on that skydive.
Shit.
So that's why I wanted to do one last jump.
Honestly?
Yo, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, you just survived. You just went through a movie. That's damn near a movie. Because if I write a book, shit, they wrote a documentary. They made a documentary that could have been a movie. And you want to go skydiving again after you survived that? Yo. Humans, bro. People, bro. I don't. It's like I think we more of a daredevil. We more of a daredevil than the animals. Cause not for nothing, we venture in their territory. We go study them. They don't study us. You get what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't find, like, if you do find an animal in a town or something, he's lost and he's panicking because he's scared to death. We are the only ones that are like intrigued by shit like that. We love thrill. We love adrenaline spike. We love that shit. We go venture in territories we don't even belong. Where we can't even survive. Where we can't even breathe. We go to space. We can't even breathe in space. We just love this shit, man. I think it's a human thing. It's a human thing. It's a human thing. I'm glad she survived. But I'm kind of mad she went and skydived again. I would have never did it. But I'm glad she survived that as well. You know what I'm saying? And that was her last one. So, shout out to her. She a real survivor.
I respect it, but I'd still never go skydiving.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people take to the air as a hobby, while others do it in the line of duty. But no soldier can prepare themselves to fall 20,000 feet out of the sky without a parachute. On January 3rd, 1943, 24-year-old American Alan McGee steps into the gunner's position of a B-17 bomber. The tight space barely leaves enough room for McGee, so he has to leave his emergency parachute in the plane's fuselage. It's World War II, and McGee, along with his team, is on a mission to destroy a German-operated submarine port in France. As the fleet reaches the town of Saint-Nazaire, the Germans launch a heavy counterattack. McGee's ball turret window explodes as a bullet rips through. He's hit by shrapnel and realizes he's in a flaming death trap. He quickly opens the hatch, climbs up, and gets his parachute. But his chute is badly damaged and no longer usable. The plane continues to take bullets until the right wing is blown off, causing it to spiral out of control. The impact also knocks McGee unconscious. Once he comes...
Wait, so they don't have a special place to keep their parachute? to where it don't get damaged? Or did that special place get damaged in? Because if they don't have a special place to put the parachute, I'm pretty sure most pilots die. Because if your plane is exploding in the air or something, of course your parachute is gonna blow. It's gonna burn. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just gonna fly out the window. So if they don't have a place to put it, that's crazy. I know they got a place to put it though.
He's falling 22,000 feet out of the sky, with no parachute and the ground beneath him drawing closer and closer. But what happens next is nothing short of a miracle. McGee smashes into the glass roof of the San Nazaire Railroad Station and lands on a steel girder that is also held up with strong metal cables. Unbelievably, it absorbs the impact almost like a trampoline.
He sliced the
He's
hell
knocked
up,
out
though.
cold once again.
That was that frangible object.
Shit, I know he's sliced up though. Hitting that glass that hard, shit. He could have still died from a just cutting an artery or something. That was a nasty fall. Out of all the falls, that was a nasty fall. I'd rather fall in the forest on the trees. I'd rather fall in a plain field with just sand. Right? I wouldn't want to hit that glass. But shit.
The blunt of the energy dissipated it, and then he continued to fall down through rafters. So his luck was that he didn't just impact the ground.
At first, the German soldiers think he's dead and go to retrieve his corpse. They then realize he's alive, but seriously wounded. McGee wakes up in a hospital bed to a German doctor who says, "We are enemies, but I am a doctor first, and I will do my best to save your arm." And that's exactly what the doctor does, practically stitching his severed arm back onto his body. McGee also had a broken leg, ankle, facial fractures, and damage to his internal organs. For the remainder of the war, he's held as a prisoner, though the Germans show him respect, given that he survived what seems impossible. He was released in 1945 and received the Purple Heart, along with other accolades for his service. Despite everything he went through, Alan McGee lived another 61 years, passing at the age of 84 in 2003. Hopefully you never find yourself in a situation similar to any of these stories.
Hey, why y'all really think the Germans let him go? I think they just was so surprised at the fact that he survived that they just, you know what, we not killing him. This man he's blessed. You know what I'm saying? He survived that. Shit, he's blessed. He got to be something. You know what I mean? Like, I think they was just shocked at the fact that he just didn't die. So they just respected that so much. They just, we gonna let you live. Shit, you deserve to live for that.
But if you are free falling without a parachute, here's what you should do.
You have to fall from any distance. The 5-point landing technique is taught in the American free fall. You're going to make your body in a certain position so all the weight doesn't go into your legs and your ankles, because that'll snap it, right? So when you go and you're going to position yourself to kind of land, your knees and your feet should be together. Bent knees, and it's 5 points of landing. You're almost going to roll yourself on the side. Can't say they're not going to break a bone, but they survived.
Statistically speaking, a plane ride is safer than driving to work. But tell that to Julianne Koepka, who fell 10,000 feet from a plane flying over the Amazon and survived. But her story doesn't end there. Waking up alive in the Amazon was just the beginning. Check out our video on her unbelievable survival story.
Yeah, we did that one already. Come on, we on you, man. How to survive, man. This is my shit, man. This is like, you never disappoint me. I love your videos, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm addicted. So, which one of these stories was your favorite? Well, not your favorite, but you know what I mean. Which one of these was the most impacting, the most, the one that left more of an impact on you? And what did you learn from this video? And, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, and don't be afraid to drop a comment. I comment to everything. I try to comment to everything.